You have a learning goal, and we have just one job to help you achieve it and deliver at your convenience. Learning right starts with us at Ashem Academy. We are a learning institute in partnership with professional industry bodies like Microsoft, PECB, Pearson VUE, and PSI, delivering quality training, ensuring your certification path in the respective industries. Ashem Academy has training specialists with extensive consulting experience as well as the expertise to address your specific needs and preferences. Our goal is to deliver training that maximizes return on people and infrastructure investments. We define success as having the right resources to skill you up to help you meet your desired goals. Our job at Ashem Academy is to empower you to be successful at every stage of the learning journey, from training to certification to establishing professional credibility. As a certified learning partner and authorized testing center, our facility has proven to be one of the best in the country as we get to reach the needs of all ages, young, middle-aged, and those in the advancing years, making learning simple and affordable. We care about your skill development, and without breaking the bank, we present you with great opportunities to showcase your competency and expertise in your area of specialty, aiding career advancement or personal goals tracking. Let's help you bridge that learning gap. All you have to do is take the next step to enroll in our courses today with prices that are easy on your wallets. Request access to our training calendar by emailing training@ashem.com, and you can also get the most of your learning investments by checking out our promotional offers here. offers.ashem.com/ms learning. You can call 0704-636-7151 or call 0704-576-9927. You can visit our head office at number 9 Ibikunle Street off Abad Macaulay Way, Yaba, Lagos State.
ọmọ ọba ni kò ṣẹrú. ó wá sáyé ọmọ ọba ni kò ṣẹrú. ó wá sáyé kò ṣẹ̀wọ̀n.
ó yá akéde mo fẹ́ délé bàbá tó bí lọ́mọ.
ọmọ ọba ni kò ṣẹrú.
bàbá àgbà ògbànígbà ní ojú àná ó ṣe gbọ́n. kò sọ́gìrì lágìrì ọ̀làgìrì kàkà. àkọ́kọ́ arẹ́rẹ́ o bàbá mi ò wọ́n kẹfẹ́rẹ́ jù jọ jagunmọ́lá òde ọ̀rọ̀.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to another Azure AI Bootcamp. And I have right with me our uncle, Lady Aisha Osineye. Good morning, Aisha.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. Shea. Good morning, everyone. Hello, good morning, and welcome to the show. It's wonderful to see you all here, both in person and for those joining us online as we kick off the Global AI Bootcamp. Today, we are diving into a really exciting conversation about how AI is changing the way we work and live, especially here in Africa. We are witnessing incredible advancements like co-pilots and agentic AI, where they are transforming everything from coding, software development, building applications, and also enhancing business operations with minimal human input. So while these innovations open up a world of possibilities, they also bring along some understandable concerns about job security and the future of work. So that's exactly why we are here. We are here to explore together how we can embrace those challenges, how we can embrace those changes, and how to make sure that they benefit everyone. So throughout this event, you hear from fantastic speakers. You hear from Mr. Oluwaseyi Oluwawumiju, who will kick things off with insights on getting things started. With getting started with A, also have Panshak Koproda, who will walk us through turning reality with AI Studio. Later on, we'll be having experts will talk about the challenges and opportunities of AI implementation in Africa and how they affect and impact our environment, our business, and our business, different industries, that's education, agriculture, and so on and so forth. So how we are in order to make our work easier and to improve public services. So later on, we will also have a lively panel discussion talk about the challenges and opportunities of AI implementation in Africa. And after then, we can have a Q&A session in order for them to address your burning questions. For being here and for your enthusiasm, let's enjoy the journey of discovery and innovation together. Welcome to the Global AI Bootcamp 2025. Let's make it a great day.
Yeah, to kick off this, we need to go right to our sponsors, those that we will be running the keynotes now. Just stay tuned as we go into the keynote. Then afterward, we follow the sequence of what Aisha has said. So the keynote is just giving us an overview of what Microsoft is looking at in the next few decades on how to change the discovery of AI, how to champion it from your own self and for the rest. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Asha Sharma, Corporate Vice President of AI Platform at Microsoft. And every day, I get to work with teams that are pushing the boundary of what AI can do. We're helping developers, scientists, businesses, and people around the entire world use AI to unlock new possibilities. AI is changing the way we build, it's changing the way we create, and how we innovate. And as developers, you are at the heart of this transformation. Whether you're working on applications, optimizing workflows, or pushing the boundaries of what is possible, AI is no longer a future technology. It is here, it is right now, and it is shaping the way that we work and the way that we live. Now, the beauty of AI is that it's not just for researchers and scientists in a lab. It's actually for every single developer. From integrating AI-powered tools in your daily workflows to building the next generation of applications, AI is an amplifier of human potential, and the best part, the tools and models are available today to make it more accessible than ever before. So in this keynote, we're going to take you on a journey through AI for developers. You're going to hear from some of the brightest minds in the industry about why AI matters, how Python has been so foundational to AI's rise, the latest advancements in AI agents, and how we can all build AI responsibly. The opportunity is in front of us, and it's massive. As developers, you're not just coding, you're shaping the future. Whether you're just getting started with AI or you're already building with it, there has never been a better time to dive in. So, welcome to the Global AI Bootcamp 2025.
Thank you, Asha, for setting the stage for today's keynote. AI is transforming the way we build software, and as developers, we have a huge opportunity to be part of this revolution.
I'm Roland, and this is Sammy, and we'll be your host as we travel to speak with some of the most influential voices in AI, exploring how it's shaping development, what's next, and how we can all get started.
Behind the scenes, our third board member and producer, making all of this possible, Genk, who's ensuring we capture every moment and bringing you the best conversations.
This keynote is part of the Global AI Community, an independent organization with over 85,000 members worldwide. Right now, all over the world, bootcamps are taking place in over 100 locations, just like this one. And together, we're reaching more than 250,000 people around the world.
Now, this is more than just an event. It's a movement. A global effort to help developers of all backgrounds to learn, build, and grow in AI. And today, we're kicking things off with someone who knows exactly why developers need to embrace AI, Scott Hanselman.
Scott is a developer, educator, tech leader who's passionate about making AI accessible to everyone. So let's dive into why learning AI is essential for developers. Hi Scott, we're here with the Global AI Community at the Global AI Bootcamp. Could you please help us make sense of what's happening in the AI space?
I think it's getting a little out of control. I know that everyone's excited about AI, but I think it's a great opportunity at the AI Bootcamp for everyone to just chill out a little bit. You don't have to put AI on everything. Additionally, I think it's important for us to remember that AI sits on top of data science, on machine learning, on deep learning, on statistics itself. And while it feels like AI just came out last year and we should all pivot and run in the direction of AI, in fact, it's been around for a very long time, and there's a lot of really great experts, some of which we've collected today, that can put this stuff into context. So I'm excited about AI, but let's all just chill.
And during this keynote, we're coming from several different angles, and hopefully you can shed some light on the developer side of things. Why should they start learning AI today?
Well, I remember when I went from a black and white screen to a color screen, and I got syntax highlighting, and I was looking at code that wasn't all one color, and then I got autocomplete, and then I got IntelliSense, and now I've got spicy autocomplete because I've got GitHub Copilot that can help me as a developer, not just generate code, but better understand my code. I tend to use the Socratic method, and I interview GitHub Copilot as if it were an intern that was helping me with my code. Developers should think about what AI could do for them while they're writing code, what it can do for their DevOps experience while they're maintaining their sites, and then what it can do for their customers, because not everything needs a Copilot and not everything needs a chatbot, but little strategic uses of AI within an application can really make it a user's experience a lot better. And I think developers need to look at the full spectrum of things that GPTs can offer.
As the vice president of developer communities, you must talk to a lot of developers just feeling overwhelmed. Where should they start?
I think that's a great point. People are overwhelmed. People are worried about their jobs. People are worried about where they fit. And I think that you are smarter than the AI. We need to remember that this is an artificial intelligence. We are creative, we are intelligent, and we are in the driver's seat. So it's not going to be AI that takes your job. It's going to be some nameless, faceless suit out there in the world. And what we need to do is figure out how we can use AI to make our jobs better, easier, more fun, how we can reduce toil. That word toil is one that I've really been focusing on. Which parts of my job are boring and tedious? Before AI, I would automate a lot of those things by writing batch files and PowerShell scripts. Now I'm using AI to write batch files and PowerShell scripts to automate the most boring parts of my job so I can focus on the fun, creative stuff.
The role is constantly changing for developers. What are some practical things they can do to infuse AI?
Well, you mentioned how do they educate themselves, and I didn't answer that well because I feel like people need to know that there's a ton of free courseware. Like if you go to developer.microsoft.com/AI, right on the top there's 3 main links that point to MIT licensed open source GitHub repositories with full courses. You can do a course in a weekend, or you can have a full 26-week course that you could teach at the university level. And I think understanding at some depth how these things work. If you treat AI as a scary black box that you send strings to and strings come back, I think you're going to be unhappy as a developer. But if you understand what's really going on at the math level beneath, it'll help you better contextualize AI in your life and how you want to fit it into your work.
So that really fits into knowing that one level deeper you always talk about.
Yeah.
How can we ensure developers don't skip that step with a lot of things they do, because those LLMs are way too smart?
That is a great point. They do feel smart. It is easy to be amazed when a parrot talks back and you go, wow, that parrot speaks English. That's amazing. But the parrot is only parroting back what it hears around them. For us to really understand that AIs learn from your data, and they are nothing without your data. So if your company does not have your data organized in a useful fashion, then your AI is going to produce garbage. And that's why remembering that the data that you have, the information that you have as a person, or the information that your company has collected in data and data lakes makes the AI better. Understanding that relationship and learning about that is going to make you a lot more effective as a developer.
Thank you so much for that developer angle for this keynote. Is there one last thing? What do we really need to start doing as developers?
I think we should also spend some time thinking about ethics and responsibility, and we should spend time looking at the work that real thinkers around sociology and psychology are thinking about AI, how we interact with them, whether or not we pretend that they are people or whether we realize that they are in fact tools. So don't just spend time teaching yourself the technical aspects of AI, also think about the ethical and the responsible AI things. And we've got resources on those as well.
That's a very good point. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We just learned why AI is a must-learn for every developer and how it's reshaping the industry. But how did we get there? To understand the rise of AI, we need to talk about Python, the language at the heart of it all. And who better to guide us than the man who created Python himself, Guido van Rossum. Have you ever envisioned that Python would be as big as it is right now, with everything how it's used in the AI?
Never. Every time I realize it's grown another 10-20%, I'm surprised.
Were there anything particular for you that were built at that time that you thought it could become something big?
I didn't have any sort of major examples of things that had become big that I wanted to follow. I mean, remember, I started it in 1990, and the word open source had not been invented. There were like a few things that were released under a license that is now recognized as open source. And I did take that as an example, but just as an example for the license, not as an example for how successful I wanted Python to be. I just wanted to share it, and I wanted to have fun developing it.
It's nothing small anymore, the language you created at that time. We see many different libraries like PyTorch and Scikit and TensorFlow and so on. Did you ever think about how that really changed the AI world?
No, the AI angle was a complete surprise to me. When I started Python in the early 90s, it was still in the middle of the AI winter, so AI was not on my mind at all. Although my main focus was still on professionals. I think the first tagline I ever had was something like fills the gap between C and shell.
Was there anything particular that you tried to focus on development to get it more accessible to everyone?
Making the language more accessible were a few bits of philosophy that I inherited from another language, and that was about making programming less complex, less complicated by, for example, using indentation instead of curly braces or begin-end blocks.
How did you get all that feedback? Was it from a couple of people, or was there more people involved to get it to where it is right now?
Oh, there's been a huge community. As soon as we open sourced it, my inbox started overflowing with feedback from people who sort of picked it up, managed to build it, and immediately saw the potential for their use cases.
Was there one particular package that you think of that's like, okay, this really changed Python into a data science language?
I think that must have been NumPy or its predecessor, numeric Python, because that sort of suddenly gave Python an ability that it didn't natively have, which was sort of efficient representation of large arrays of numbers. For me, that sort of one big moment was when TensorFlow came out, which was produced by a famous Googler, Jeff Dean. And when I worked at Google, he had never given me the time of day because he was so important at Google and I was just a low individual contributor. And I didn't think that he or any of the other big Googlers cared much about Python because it was just a scripting language and all the important work was done in C++. So I was quite surprised and also felt vindicated that TensorFlow, even though it's still written in C++ and for good reasons, the user interface is actually you write scripts in Python.
So that was a proud moment.
That was a very proud moment when I saw that the first line of code on the TensorFlow docs was import TensorFlow.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Now, you started with something small, became quite big to what it is right now. There's many people who would like to follow your steps. What advice would you be able to give someone who wants to create their own language or even want to create just another application?
If you want to create an application, go for it. For people who want to create their own language, the standard recommendation is go take some rest and wait for the feeling to pass, because that sort of, it's unlikely to be successful, and even if it's not, it'll consume your life. On the other hand, if the feeling doesn't pass, go ahead and learn everything you need to learn from looking at other languages, how they're implemented, how they're used, what their syntax flaws are, because language designers all steal from each other.
Python is still your little baby, I would say. It's not a little one, I guess. And it will
grown
always
into Godzilla.
Well, and it will always follow you. We saw the number plate of your car. It also says Python, so it's really your thing. We're very happy with what you've set up at that time, and we thank you for your time today also.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Python's simplicity and power has made AI accessible to developers worldwide, and it's the foundation of many of the breakthroughs we see today. Now, one of the most exciting areas of AI is the rise of intelligent agents. AI systems that can think, act, and learn in real time. Now, to break this down, let's hear from Jennifer Marsman. She's the principal AI engineer in the office of the CTO at Microsoft. Jennifer, could you please explain to us what AI agents are and what they are doing?
Yes. So an AI agent is simply a software process that you can delegate a chunk of work to, much like you could to a human colleague. So if you think about scenarios like customer service and software development, we're seeing a lot of that where people are able to utilize agents for help and augment their own capabilities with this work. But we're still very much in the early days of agents. So we believe that in order for agents to reach their true potential, we need a more robust infrastructure surrounding them. So not only the core foundation models, but three key things, and that is memory, entitlements, and actions. So let me break those things down. By memory, I mean that these agents should have a context of not only the information that they need to solve the problem, but also information about previous interactions with the user. And that can lead to a more personalized and relevant experience. Then there's entitlements. Now, entitlements mean permissions. So if an agent is doing something on behalf of me, it should only have access to the things that I have read access to, and it should be able to only take actions that I have permissions to take. And then finally, there is the idea of actions. So if you have an agent that is, for instance, booking a restaurant reservation for you, you need to go beyond just the natural language capabilities of the model and actually call out to code. And so that's what tool use enables you to do with these agents.
Because of what new enhancements that we see or developments in the AI world are agents now so popular?
Well, I think that the capabilities of these foundation models continue to grow and expand and become even more powerful. And so what we see as a result of that is that now these foundation models are able to handle more complex, sophisticated tasks. And we're calling those reasoning models. And so what you see these agents now able to do is, instead of just calling a model and getting a response back within a few seconds, the model is given a little bit more time to ruminate on an answer and really walk through a process of chain of thought reasoning, and then be able to come up with answers to more complex questions. So it's empowered a whole new category of abilities to these agents.
You told us before already that you work with Fortune 100 companies in the office of the CTO. Any use case that you're really surprised of where AI agents were used?
The most exciting thing to me is actually the diversity of use cases that we've been able to do. There's been a number of things, from looking at ideas like fraud detection and financial services, to looking at the entertainment industry and things like planning vacations and things like that, to financial services, to healthcare, to retail and shopping. So there's really been a wide variety of use cases that we've seen.
How do you see the future of the use of AI agents in the day-to-day life?
Well, I actually had one of the most magical moments with one of the reasoning models. When I was doing early testing on a reasoning model, the O1 preview, the scenario that I tried was actually something that I was doing for myself in my personal life. I have 3 children, and they're all in different grades. One is in middle school, high school, and elementary school. And I was trying to sign them up for camps for the summer. And in my area, the camps are very complex. And so what I did is I actually wrote a prompt that described my 3 kids. Here are my 3 kids and what grade they're in and their interests. And then I threw that whole catalog, like the text of all of those summer camps, at the prompt and said, help me figure out, write me a matrix of each week of the summer by each kid and what camp they should be in. And it did it. And that was just this amazing moment, because that is a very, very complex constraint satisfaction problem where it had to keep track of a lot of nuanced detail. And the model was able to do that. And that was really exciting to see.
So we already see a lot of developers trying to build AI agents. What advice could you give them to bring it to the next level?
Well, there's 2 things I would say. The first thing is, instead of focusing on what an agent is or is not, really focus on what is the value that an agent could bring to you? What is the things that you could automate away, or the product value that you can give to your customers, or the way you can best, serve others by creating a better service experience? I don't think we've actually hit the bottom of everything that we can do with just GPT 4.0. These foundation models have such amazing capabilities. The more you dig, the more things you play with, the more experimenting you do, the more you find new capabilities that you wouldn't think they could do.
I think the word experimenting is probably the most important one as the advice.
It really is. Yeah. It really is.
Thank you very much, Jennifer, for that advice.
Yes, keep playing.
AI agents are transforming how we interact with technology, enabling smarter automation and more intuitive user experiences. But as AI systems grow more powerful, we must also ensure they remain fair, transparent, responsible. To explore this critical topic, let's hear from Sarah Bird. Hi Sarah, you lead the Responsible AI initiative at Microsoft. We start with a big question. Why do you think responsible AI is such a critical element now in the entire AI landscape?
You say it's a big question, but I feel like it's actually a really easy question because who wants to use an AI system that they don't trust, right? We see the potential of AI to change how we do everything, right? How we communicate with other people, how we work, how we have fun. But those are important areas of our life. We're not going to want to use AI for that if we can't trust it to behave in the way we want, aligned with the things we care about. We need to make sure that it's secure, that it's safe, that it keeps our information private. And so I don't see how we get the exciting AI future if we don't figure out the responsible AI piece. We have to have the critical tools and technologies to make sure that we can build AI systems that we can control and that people trust with, good reason.
Of course, developers building these AI systems face many challenges. Do you have any insight in how to implement those amazing AI features responsibly in their systems?
Yeah, I think first, let me acknowledge that there are many challenges with generative AI, and not only many of them, but a really wide range. When this technology came onto the scene, we of course, cared about things that we've been talking about in responsible AI for a while, like, is the system fair? Is it stereotyping? But we also saw new types of risks, like, does it produce copyright material that you don't want to be using in your downstream application? The systems are exposed to new types of attacks, like prompt injection attacks. And so with this much bigger range of things to be concerned about, and it's growing every day, in fact, we are seeing, some of the newer technology. We have to be concerned, someday is this going to be able to produce, formulas for chemical weapons? Is this something that can cause much bigger risk? And so with this kind of growing set of risk, it's really important that we have a plan when we're building an AI system to be able to both understand what risks are in the system, be able to build a system that is safe by design, and then also to be able to test that system so that you know that those mitigations you built in are actually effective. And then after you tested it and you feel like, okay, it's working and you want to ship it, you also need to monitor and figure out what's going on, right? Adversaries find new ways to use systems. Users find exciting new ways to use systems that maybe you didn't plan for, and so it's not behaving how you expected. And so we really look at this complete playbook, and that's something that we expect, every developer is going to need to do if they're building with AI.
And it's such a valuable insight, because that has been the case, of course, with software, even without AI features, that we should really test and monitor and keep monitoring. And sometimes we forget with these cool new things that we also need to do these important aspects of AI.
I love that you said that, because I regularly joke when I'm talking to people that, the novel thing we've been doing to ship AI is test it, right? And obviously anyone in software engineering should be laughing, because it's not novel that we need to test systems. But to be honest, very few people who are building on top of AI were really testing at the level that's needed. And certainly when generative AI came onto the scene, we found that you need a lot more testing, because it's so powerful and it's so flexible. So you have a lot of control over how it behaves in terms of how you configure the meta prompt, how you configure safety systems, how you feed the data into the system. And so with all of that power and flexibility, it can behave very, very differently. And so you have to test it and you have to fine tune it to get to something that is really what you want to ship.
Developers are, of course, still learning how to develop these systems, how to implement AI. How do you suppose they can juggle the constant having to, or able to be injecting new AI features with the other side, and doing that responsibly in respect to ethics and constantly being under pressure of the business?
Yeah, I think this question is often posed as a trade-off. But if we go back kind of to what I was saying at the beginning, I don't think there is a real trade-off here, because if you're shipping a system without responsible AI, most people aren't even going to be comfortable to use it. And so, at Microsoft, we very much, in our own practice of this, view it as just part of shipping the AI system, right? That it's not complete until we've done the appropriate testing, until it's working the way that, we actually want it to behave. And so we've kind of gotten out of the mindset that this is a trade-off. Now, we recognize that the market's moving really quickly, and we also want to innovate very quickly. And so a lot of our investment is figuring out how we do all of the responsible AI practices at the speed in which AI is moving. And for example, one of the things we've built is what you would call kind of automated red teaming, or we call it safety evaluations. But this is taking the tests that we think are important and using AI to run those tests against systems and scale that up. And so we've got a robust testing system that just every team in the company can run. And so they don't all have to spend time investing in their own testing. They can start from what we've already built and customize it. And so a lot of our approach of making this not a trade-off is really figuring out how to build the right tools to scale it up, to make sure that everyone can use the same tool, and make sure we're just getting it right in one place and that people can build on top of that. And so we think, the same thing for our customers or for developers. I'm lucky to be at Microsoft, where we might have more responsible AI experts than probably any organization in the world. And that's a great privilege. And so we can invest a lot in this space, but not every organization can do that. And so our job is to build tools and technologies that other people can just use and build on top of, so that you don't have to start from scratch, so that it doesn't need to be a trade-off.
What would be your one tip for the developer?
Test your systems, right? We've always known that the best software practice is to test your systems. And with AI, you have to be more thoughtful and test for a wider range of things, but it's still the same thing. Test your systems.
So true. Thank you so much for being here and sharing all these valuable insights with us. And it was great having you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to see what everyone builds.
We've just heard from some of the top minds in AI about why this technology is transforming the way we build software, how Python has been foundational to its growth, and the latest advancements shaping the future. But here's the thing. Learning about AI isn't just for experts, it's for every developer, including you. That's why we're so excited for you to take the next step at your local bootcamp. This is your chance to get hands-on, experiment with AI, collaborate with peers, and start building. Whether you're brand new to AI or already coding with it, there's something for everyone. We also want to take a moment to say a huge thank you to all the local organizers who have made these bootcamps possible. Your dedication and effort are what makes this community so incredible. And don't forget, make sure to request your badge and register on globalai.community. This is your gateway to staying connected, accessing more learning resources, and being part of a growing global network of AI enthusiasts and developers. The future of AI isn't just being built in research labs. It's being built by developers like you, in communities all around the world. This bootcamp is your opportunity to explore, create, and be part of something bigger. So let's get started. Dive in, ask questions, build something amazing, and most importantly, have fun. We can't wait to see what you create. The next AI breakthrough could start right here with you. So join the community, claim your badge, and let's go.
So, hi everyone, welcome back. Aisha, what do you take of the keynote? Summarize it in your own way. Localize it, maybe to Yoruba, to Efik, or to any other language.
Welcome
Hello, can you hear me?
everyone from that keynote. The keynote is going to set the stage for our discussion in this session, in this show at this point in time. So we have listened to experts about how AI, how artificial intelligence is changing the world of work, changing the way we live, changing the way we do things, how we can use artificial intelligence to to set the stage, to make a difference, to make our work and our lives easier. So on this note, we are going on to the speaker
Before
session.
we
We are
before we go to speaker section, I want you to still relay some things about what was there on the keynote, which they talk about responsible AI. So, what do you think it's the major drive to that in terms of as we prepare to begin to build um, solutions, especially agents across Microsoft platform, what should be mindful of? Because she made some reference testing, ensure that it's accurate, ensure it's responsible. So what does it take to our own cultural environment, especially in the African space?
Okay, talking about using AI responsibly. So one of the ethics for using AI is to make sure it is not harming anyone. It's not bringing out false information. It is bringing out the right information. And over time, we have seen that the African content is most of the time not properly represented in artificial intelligence content being generated. So when we are talking about the large language models being used to train the AI solutions that we have right now, if you ask an AI to provide to generate a content, probably a visual or a written content about Africa, what it generates is probably something that comes from the Stone Age. So we are not actually AI is not properly being used as a noun to project the African environment, project the African society in the current light, how it is. You don't see African urban cities. If you ask for African urban city to be generated for you as an image, you don't see such. Immediately you mention Africa, what you see are trees, probably deserts, probably um the old ways of dressing that doesn't portray what we currently have in Africa. These days we have African metropolis looking really advanced. We have advanced cities, we have urban cities, centers that can be projected using AI.
Hmm.
African proper AI contents being generated. For example, the local languages that we have right now in Africa can boast of hundreds, if not up to thousands, of local languages around, but they are not actually being
Thousand of
represented.
local language. Yeah. Yeah.
How do we
So
make people, African societies, businesses to trust AI, that AI is actually generating content that relate to us, that AI can actually represent and support us properly. So those are the questions, and those are the steps that we need to take right now.
okay. Okay, thank you, Aisha. So I think you have done justice to that. So what is next now? How are we doing next?
I really can't hear you very well. The
I
audio
said,
is
what
not
is next? What is next? If you can hear me.
Yes, now.
breaking.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now it's better now.
Okay. I said, what is next? What are we doing now in order to bring this narrative to Africa?
Okay, for
What is
us
the
to make
next in our agenda? In our agenda, that's what I mean. What is next?
artificial intelligence work for Africa, we need to start by training AI models on African content. We need to provide data sources that talk about African environments that reflect the current state of the African environment, the current challenges of the African environment, and how we can tailor those solutions in order to suit the African environment. So we have challenges that are peculiar to Africa, so that are not that don't relate with the other parts of the world. So we have challenges that are peculiar to, so we could actually curate solutions that are peculiar to our challenges here in Africa, challenges, solutions that will solve our own problems, solutions that relate with what we are actually going through daily. We are Africa is plagued with infrastructural challenges. We have challenges of internet. We have challenges of power. We have challenges in the education sector. We have challenges in basically all areas that we can actually use artificial intelligence to look into and solve. And for us to start this, we need to first of all feed the AI with the right informations about Africa, because AI thrives on data. So there are tons of data out there that we can use to feed the artificial intelligence solutions in order for us to bring about innovations that actually tackle the challenges that are peculiar to our African environments.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much for that. So I think what is next in our agenda is to go for the practical workshop or a demo session. Um, and if you want, because we want to be very, so if you are willing to demo on your environment, global Bootcamp has provided us additional credit. So you have to contact Um, I'll contact this number if you are online. Um, you contact this number, you get it. But if you are actually in the physical location, then it will be easy to see him in the hall and make you position for the actual session. But for online, you are call that number or write to him on WhatsApp to be able to give you the link to the Okay, so Aisha, I think Pansak is next now to give us to take us through some exciting things about Azure. What is he going to tell us about? Oh, my audio
Okay,
is not clear. Okay,
it's not really
uh,
clear. It's not clear, and
because I see you are struggling
it's
to hear me.
breaking. Yes, it's actually breaking. I can't really um, pick out what you have said.
Okay, is
It's
it clear
breaking.
now? Is it still breaking? Is my audio still okay? So I say is my audio still breaking?
I don't know what's going on here. Internet challenges or probably technical issues. I'm not
No,
really
it's
sure.
not really technical. I think it's clearer now. I was using an earbud before. I've taken it off to use a normal mic. But the question, can you still hear me?
Yeah,
Okay,
not
thank
clearly.
you
I
very
can
much.
hear you, but not clearly.
Uh, okay, okay, thank you. I think we are going. Actually, I should check your audio. I think other people can hear me. The feedback I'm getting is that they can hear me properly. So check your audio whether it's from your side or it's the network. So we are the next thing we
Yeah,
are going to go
I might have to
into.
go off and
Okay,
rejoin.
okay. The next thing we are going to go in now is to quickly go into a demonstration, and but for those that want to come and do the practical section, because the whole essence of the boot camp is to be able to have people that will practice what is being taught here. One of the experts is going to come and share the screen on how to use, how to apply the subscription if you have uh, send a chat to him, or if you are physically there, will just take us through how to apply the Azure subscription so that we can get Panska on the. So it's just a few minutes that it take us to. Then Panshak will come up to take us through how to use one of the AI services on Azure. Hello, Stephen. Can you come online now? Is Stephen there? Or you just get in contact with him. He would give you probably a guide, like on WhatsApp, on step by step on how to apply the subscription. So we bring on Pansak to come up and take us through his demo section. Pansak. Okay, Stephen, are you ready to just take us through the demo on how to apply it so that Pastor can have a smooth ride when it's demonstration and people can follow him online?
Yes, I am. I am.
Okay.
All right.
So our essence of the bootcamp is to make sure that it's practical and hands-on as possible. So we have requested the global Azure to provide us with likely subscription. So if you're out there and you want to go ahead to follow what we are doing, please, Stephen will just take you through what you need to do. Then the step-by-step guide, you can contact him afterward to get your subscription. Stephen, we are waiting for you. Can you share your
Yes,
screen? Yeah.
I'm okay. All right.
You have not shared your screen.
All right.
We're only seeing
1
our
minute.
picture. You need to share your screen. There's a button under after the camera. You have the mic, the share screen. You can share your screen from there.
All right, I'm here.
Okay, good. So we're waiting to see your screen. Okay, we have seen your screen.
Can you still see my screen?
Yes, we have. You can go ahead now. Yeah.
All right. aka.ms / join edulab. That's the link that will be sent to you. The moment you get the link, you click it in and on the browser, and after logging in,
So they have to log in with their
just give him.
either their Hotmail account or Outlook account or any account that is provisioned for them as email.
All right. One thing you need to understand is this is very sensitive. You might not be asked to input any email, but the browser that you are using, if it already have you signed on, then it's going to automatically pick your email address. But then there is an invitation code that comes as well. This is where you input the invitation code, and the invitation code here
You
is
don't, you don't, you don't. When they call you for the invitation code, you can give them. For those that are with you
okay.
there, you can give
So,
them there. Yeah.
all right. Now there's an invitation code that will be sent to you. Once you click it in, then you click on redeem. So now it's showing this must not be empty because I've already done this before. So I'm just going to skip this part, and you get a mail from Microsoft after a while. After you input the code and click on redeem button, you should expect a mail from Microsoft. In that case, I'm just going to log into my mailbox. As you can see, I have this no, just a minute. All right, trying to sign into my mail. Outlook. Okay. All right. So you are going to get a mail like this, Microsoft Azure. Because I've already used mine, there is no information on the next step. But for you are going to see something like accept. Already I've used this account, so that's why it's not showing up. But if I try this same with with a different browser, I want to see if it's going to send me a different email. Because I've not signed this browser, I've not actually signed up this browser. It shows that it gives me this view to impute my browser. So I mean an email. So I'm trying to put my email. All right. Uh, Waiting for authentication.
Maybe just tell us the step. Since you have
Uh,
used this, you have tested it on your account. Maybe that will make it more.
So, like I said, the first thing you get it's an email. Okay, an email like this that will tell you to accept ownership.
Okay.
So once you click on accept the ownership, you wait for it. After loading, it will display a page like this. All right, it says here that I have already accepted ownership of this subscription, but for your case, it might be a different situation. So you follow the email that you get and accept the ownership, then follow the prompt. It's going to approve you. If you have any challenge as you proceed, you can always reach me on WhatsApp and I'll guide you through. But because I've already used this my email, the steps are missing. So your situation might be different. So you can always reach me on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp, I think the administrator is going to share it now so that I can always guide you through on that. It's that simple. But afterwards, you have a subscription that you can use to walk around
Okay. So
like this. The subscription is Global AI Community. You can change the name as well.
okay. So if you go to your chat area, if you're on YouTube, you see the number for Stephen at Bigway. You can just contact him. It's going to guide you, and it's reachable on WhatsApp. So as much as we want it, as much as it's virtual, we also want it to be very practical. So please endeavor to get yourself acquainted with the process and get yourself ready as we bring our first speaker, Panshak, to, or Aisha, Aisha is back. So Aisha, so I leave the stage for you now. Aisha, can you hear us? Is your audio better now?
Yes, my audio is
Okay.
better right now. So I'm going to start using the speakers for today. So I've been trying to actually upload these slides, but they are not working. They're not working. So I think I
You
can
can
do
as well
this
share.
by
You can share your
share my
screen.
screen.
You
Yes,
you can
I will
share
do
your
that
screen.
by
Yes.
sharing my screen. So I'm going to share my screen right about now. Please let me know if you're seeing my screen.
We're still waiting for it. It has not come up. It will indicate and we just put you on the screen, but it has not come up.
Yeah, it's not coming on here. Yes.
Just share it again. Or if you can send the presentation to
Okay.
me, maybe I can help you to share it from my side if it's
Okay,
going
I'm,
to
I'm
work that
sharing
way.
right now. I'm sharing the window right now.
Okay, that's great.
Yes. Thank you. So this is the slide I was trying to upload that's not working. So I will just go on and do a slideshow from here.
Okay.
Okay, this is the flyer beginning. And we're going next, and this is the agenda which showcase the sponsor ads and then the welcome remarks and then the keynote address. So here now we are going to the speaker presentations. So I'll start by introducing our
Although
speakers.
we cannot see you or your screen yet,
Okay, uh,
but Pasha
okay.
is already on the standby to start. Okay, I think it's coming up now. Hold on. I think something just came in. It's still
Can
not
you see my
there.
screen now?
No, we have not seen it. What are you seeing
Okay.
when you share your screen? Sorry,
You
guys,
already
for the
told me that I was
technology.
sharing my screen already. Okay, I think you just went off again, but I was sharing
Okay,
already.
okay. Can you share it again? Or apparently we are not
How about now?
seeing it on the. It's still not. You just go ahead. Since Pascal is already ready, let's just bring him on, introduce him, and
Okay, let me
we do
introduce
that after.
Panchak then.
Okay.
So I'm going to introduce Panchak. Panchak Panchak Koproda is a Platform developer. Panchak is a former Gold Microsoft student partner. He's an associate Microsoft Power Platform developer and a public speaker with speaking engagements spread across 3 continents on topics ranging from business development, incubation, and artificial intelligence. So, Panchak is an alumni of the Department of Computer Science, University of Jos. He currently works with Covenant Tech and serves as the mentorship and career development executive with the JOS Microsoft community. So let's welcome Panchak here as he features his demo about using the AI studio. Welcome, Panchak.
Welcome, Pasha. So hopefully we are going to have an exciting moment. We can't hear you. Can you check your audio? Audio
Do you hear
check.
me now?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. So
All right.
we leave this thing for you now.
All right. So thank you very much and good morning, everyone. So without me wasting any time, so I'm just going to go straight into what we have for today. I'm going to start with my slides. Okay. I believe my screen is visible. I'm going to go into the presentation for today. So the title for the presentation is Concepts to Creation in Azure AI Foundry, also known as the Azure AI Studio. So as I've been duly introduced, my name is Panshak Jeremiah Koproda, and I'll be the one walking you through this exciting time, and then I'm going to be giving you an overview into what exactly the Azure AI Foundry is. So of course, my name is Pancha Koproda again. I mean, the introductions, I believe, are more than enough. And then let's just go. So it's going to be from concept to creation. We are going to be looking at the ideal scenario, the demo scenario that we have from Microsoft itself, and the people who actually have built this. But then we're going to try to contextualize it within the context of Nigeria and possibly Africa. So this is supposed to be the demo scenario, but then basically what we're going to be doing in this session is to see how we're going to be using the playground. Again, you get to know about the playground when we begin. So what exactly is the Azure AI Foundry? Well, the Azure AI Foundry, it provides a unified platform for enterprise AI operations. So what this basically means is that already existing organizations that function as an enterprise that want to build models, that want to build AI agents on pre-existing models that have been built by Microsoft, that have been built and provisioned by other AI providers like Meta, like Llama, like even DeepSeek. So when organizations or enterprises want to build certain AI agents or certain AI models, or to build on these models, on these existing models, due to the fact that training these models from scratch is very, very cost intensive, they use the Azure AI Studio, which is meant to cut down on cost, time, and effort required to build on these pre existing models. And the basic idea is to build these models and then eventually integrate them with either pre-existing enterprise applications or applications that are actually hosted on the web. So the foundation of this whole AI Foundry combines production grade infrastructure with friendly interfaces. So there is enough infrastructure on the Azure AI Foundry for you to build a robust AI model, to build a robust AI system, and it is very, very user friendly, as you're going to be seeing. And then it's also going to ensure that organizations can build and operate AI applications with confidence. This means that after you have built it, you also have the interface providing you with enough room to actually get to tweak, to monitor, and to manage the AI system that you've built it this way. Azure AI has been in existence already, right? And then it's basically transitioning into the AI Foundry, because the whole idea of a foundry is where you cast metal into molds. So look at it this way: your data is the hot metal you're casting into models. So the models are the molds. You're not going to be building completely from the scratch as such. You have existing models that you're going to be casting your data in, and that will help you to bring out the shape of the AI agent or the AI applications that you want to build. So you see, the Azure AI Foundry combines three powerful services to make it what it is. So on its own, Azure AI as a concept, that is the provisioning of AI services on Azure, has what we have called the Azure AI services that goes across text, speech, vision, would all those let me say clicks of AI solution or AI services that is provisioned by Microsoft Azure, and then it combines it with Azure machine learning, which is basically a interface for you to move your AI ideas from ideas, move it through the pipeline, and have a full-fledged solution. And then we have responsible AI tooling. By default, the solutions you will build on the AI Foundry will have most and be monitored to fall in line with the responsible AI standards that have been set by Microsoft. So this is an overview of how the Microsoft Azure AI Foundry relates to Copilot Studio, Visual Studio, GitHub, and the Azure AI Foundry SDK, which is where you can do the development for Azure AI services. And of course, you can connect it with your GitHub and your Visual Studio Code, because there is an aspect and there is a part where you can and you should build these solutions writing your own code. And then, of course, we have Copilot Studio, which is the enterprise grade platform for building custom copilots and agents for enterprises, now also integrated into this. And the exciting thing about Microsoft Azure Foundry is the fact that you have Azure Open AI services as well. So you even have the latest models of Azure of Open AI. You're ranging from DAL-E to ChatGPT 4.0 mini and the rest, right? You have Azure AI search, you have Azure AI agent service, and then you have Azure AI content safety that ensures that all the data that you bring into Azure AI Foundry is safe and is not used to train the model. Right. So you're going to have the ability with the model catalog to look at foundation models, open source model, task models, and industry specific models. Now, foundational models refer to, let me use the word foundation, in the sense whereby you are going to build on pre-existing models. You're not going to build from the scratch, as I mentioned. Foundational models are models like let's say GPT 4.0 or GPT 4.0. Those are foundational models. They have already been trained. They already are fully functional. So those are foundational models you can use. Then, of course, we have open source models like DeepSeek. So we have an instance where the latest player in the AI space has now made its own solution open source. So that's also on the model catalog. We have task models. So we have models that are specific for certain tasks, like let's say word completion, text generation, and the rest. And we have industry specific models, as you see. So I'm just giving an overview before we go into the little demo that I'm going to walk us through. And then after you've built your solution, there is a path for you to observe, evaluate, govern, and monitor your AI solution. So this is now where we get to the part of getting started with Azure AI Foundry. I'm going to talk about the major developmental stages in Azure AI, and then I'm just in between now, transitioning from here, and then also getting to see how we can have a look at the studio of the Azure AI Foundry itself. So first, the three major steps are to define and explore, build and customize, and then access and improve. Define and explore basically has to do with you defining the business problem you want to use Azure AI to solve, right? After you've defined that, you begin to explore the models available to you that can fit the scenarios that you want to build a solution for. And then you go into building and customizing. This is where something like prompt engineering will come in. After you've built the model, you begin to customize it to fit your business need. And then, of course, you assess and you improve on the model, right? So that is where monitoring comes in. And then you can begin to tweak your models to make sure that it meets certain standards. So this is an overview of the Azure AI Foundry Studio. So let me please confirm you can still see my screen. Bring you to this screen. Can you still see my screen? Okay. So I'm going to be going right ahead. So with the Azure subscription that has been provisioned for you, hopefully you get to also play back this recording and have a way and play around this. One of the things you are able to do is it's going to bring you here to ai.azure.com, right? So this is where you're going to find your Azure AI Foundry. And the first thing you're going to do is to create a project. I have already an existing project, so I'm going to click on create project. It's validating resources. Okay. So the project name is going to be Global AI Community Demo. Niger, let's say app. Sorry, it's too long. Then click create. So the projects are basically the containers that you build your solutions in, right? And they are all hosted on the hub. So I'm going to walk you through what exactly those are in a minute. So waiting for this to just provision quickly. Very exciting thing you can do with Azure AI. One of the demos I would like to do in the playground is what you're going to see. I mean, I haven't had the opportunity to have a chat with ChatGPT. I'll be honest, because of some limitations with having to work with the paid version. So when you have created your project, this is the first thing you see. Now, the API and endpoint keys are basically what you could use to actually build on your own application. So for people who actually have an existing application and they want to integrate it, this is where you come to. You come to the API key part. So you copy, you drop it on your application. The API keys, whenever you make the call and you're able to get your response and display it within your application. Overview for the Azure AI Foundry, as you can see, after you've built your model, after you've provisioned your project, and then you now go to the model catalog. Now, the model catalog is one of the most important parts of what really makes the Azure AI Foundry what it is, right? Because with the model catalog, you can get to see the list of models that are available to you and have a better look. So you now have collections. You can filter your models based on certain things. You can filter them based on collections, as I mentioned, based on industry, based on its own capabilities, agent supported, assistant supported, based on your deployment options, on your inference tasks. So if you want to work on something specifically, that's why if you remember what we showed in the slide, if you want to work maybe on something like translation, text generation, which object segmentation, object detection, you can have specific models that do that. So let's try to look at, let's say, for instance, a conversational model. It's going to filter it and bring me models that are specific to conversations, as you can see. So very interesting. So one of the things I'm going to do is the GPT 4.5. Let me search GPT here. Generator pre-trained transformers, and then of course you can see that the GPT 4.0 is actually here, but this is for chat completion. And you can now go to the model card when you click on any of them, which will now give you an overview of, okay, what's the details about this specific model, right? So this is taking a little bit of time, and then this is going to give you a breakdown, right? This is the details that have to do with the GPT 4.0. So it offers a shift in how models interact with multimodal inputs. This is just the overview of it. I mean, take your time to read it when you have access to it. It enhanced customer service, advanced analytics, content innovation, very beautiful. Then it gives you the updates that have been made. It gives you also the resources, so you can actually explore the resources and you can do a lot of things on your own, right? This is it. This is more information about the model provider. Of course, as you can see some form of ranking, right? So when we talk about performance, this is actually giving you a little overview on how the performance works, some level of transparency. It just gives you, so these are things that are not even available to anybody, just commonly out there. It's just not just any developer, right? They're not all just like they don't just have access to these things, right? I mean, but you actually have access to this. Once you're done, you can click on deploy. This is basically where it's supposed to take you to where you can actually begin to deploy. So if I want to, you could deploy this, but I've already deployed this, and it will take some time. Benchmarks, existing deployment, code samples, licenses, and everything. Come to fine tuning, and then by the time you look at that, you can confirm that you want to fine tune the training data. So fine tuning is basically the part that has to do with now transitioning to what we call prompt engineering and stuff, where you are now beginning to make tweaks so that it fits certain brackets of your solution. Yes, I want to cancel fine tuning. I want to come back to the project itself. Yes. So we're going to leave the model catalog. So let me just come back to this place and make sure that I'm still audible. I hope so. So after the model catalog, there is the general overview of the interface. As you can see here, we have the playgrounds, we have the AI services, as I mentioned. So the AI service gives you, I mean, I love this so much, right? You're talking about document field extraction, content understanding. So it's basically divided into speech, language, translation, vision, and those are the major divisions. You can basically explore the AI services and then pick one specifically that works for you. Let's say for instance speech, and then you see one of the things it to do very interesting is take you to the playground. So the playground is basically where you're supposed to first interact with the model before you do any form of development, right? So let's click on the playground. I want to now go to the playground specifically, and then I want to do give you an overview of how these things work. You're looking at it from the aspect of working with the playground. So let me try real-time audio play background. So this is the model. I want to now play around with the playground. Now, this is a very, very interesting thing. Now, we have what we call the prompt catalog. So when we talk about prompt engineering, returning to my, sorry, let me just, okay. So when you come back to the slides, you're going to see where I'm talking about prompt engineering. It's fast-growing field of study that focuses on design and optimization of prompts to deliver consistent and quality responses at scale. So prompts now become the primary programming interface for generative AI apps. So basically what this is talking about is now I will now advise. I mean, this is the global AI community. So researchers can help us fine-tune this word to now be more of prompt architecture rather than prompt engineering, right? Because I mean, the word prompt engineering, in a sense, refers to you getting to set up specific prompts, right? But in this sense, you are architecting it because you're trying to work on how the model you're working on can give specific response. You're trying to give direction to how it gives those response, and there are many reasons for that, right? Now, the reasons why you do prompt engineering is because generative models are stochastic, right? Which means whenever we give a prompt, we don't always get the same answer. So that's why you do prompt engineering. And also because generative models can fabricate responses. This is what we call AI hallucination, when AI gives you fabricated answers that are not based on fact. So you now add data that is specific to your domain so that you can actually design and model inputs. And then you have, of course, generative models. They do not have memories, of course, except in a situation where the app you're building on gives it some background and information that regards the design. And then prompt engineering basically looks at you having something like this. So you set out the task, the tone, safety, context, and the conversational history to the system. You set out certain parameters, the users, and then finally you have your output. So there are certain techniques that are involved in prompt engineering. One is chain of thoughts, where you give the model a step-by-step approach with an example. So you give an example of a step-by-step approach of how you want it to respond. That is you now tuning the prompts to handle refusal and recall and to handle the problems that we just identified. And then we have few short learning, where you just give it a lot of context. You give it a lot of ways to give response to the way people are going to use your prompt. And then, of course, this now brings us to the playground, which is now intersecting with the prompt engineering that we're going to be doing in a little while. So now let's go back to our demo. Let's go back to my screen here. All right. So this is it. Let's now say I want to talk about, let's say your knowledge cutoff is 20, 23 years. Of course, helpful, witty, friendly, like a human. And so let's try it first, right? So let's start listening. Hi, how you doing today? I want you to just, maybe you can really hear. Well, I would like to talk about the Nigerian economy. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. Let me interrupt you there. Yeah. Do you know how to speak broken English? No, I'm talking about broken English. How you did, those kind of things. Oh wow. I I don't know how to speak Yoruba, but I hope the Yoruba audience can actually listen. So if you're listening, ChatGPT, can you say how are you doing in Yoruba for me? Can you say in Yoruba? Okay. All right. That's Bawoni. It's I mean Mr. Shea is on the call. Mr. Shea Bawoni. So it's very, very interesting. Okay, that's very interesting. So that is how um the AI Foundry works, right? And let me see. So for prompt engineering, let me stop listening. Now let's say you are a Nigerian male. Speak with a Nigerian accent, right? And then, so this is now you doing prompt engineering, and then you apply changes. You can even generate prompts. So once you apply changes, let's start listening. Hi, how you doing? I'm doing. Can you speak with a Nigerian accent? I for like talk about Nigerian football. Okay. Yeah, I my favorite Nigerian dish is tuwon shinkafa and miyan kuka. Do you know that? What of masa? No, 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 no. Sorry, you got me wrong. I'm talking about masa, northern Nigerian food. Exactly. Yeah, you got it. So I also want to talk of a local dish. Let's say based in Plateau State, where I'm from. It's basically called gote. It's made of vegetables. Do you know of that? Okay. Yeah, please continue. All right, that will do. Thank you. So hopefully you plugged into that. You can see that after we spoke for the first time, I actually asked it to, I tweaked it a little bit for it to speak in the Nigerian accent, and that's basically how some prompt engineering works. And you're able to tweak your model while in training. And then everything. Then now we now transition to you adding your data. You can see that now I had to be very specific about certain Nigerian food. So adding data will now give it a lot of context to, okay, I'll be grounding it. I'll be adding data source complexities, access to latest data, secure access to internal information, and all that. So this is a system of prompt engineering called RAG, or improving your way of giving access to your data, where it's called retrieve, augment, and generate. So you're now going to add your data so that when it's doing that, it's retrieving your data, it's augmenting it, and then it's also generating. So I mean, these are a lot of technical stuff, but then I've come to the end of my presentation. I really hope you liked it, you enjoyed it. I loved it. So is Aisha there? Let me stop sharing my screen. I hope you were able to follow with the conversation with ChatGPT. I had to just take it out a little bit, I mean, so that we can actually hear. So is Aisha there? Thank you very much. I had a superfluous time. Mr. Shei? So you can drop a survey about the session here, scan the QR code, or if you feel like, I mean, you can just pick out the link as is provisioned here. Thank you very much.
Hello, Pascal. Good
Yes,
morning.
sir.
Thank you for the demo, but I said you have to take us back a little step back. When you were doing your demo with the tools in Kafa, you actually shared your screen without sharing your audio. So we could not hear how you were doing the fine tuning. Can you just take that section, share your screen with your audio, and let us see what you were doing? We were lost
Okay,
there.
but
Everybody wanted to hear what you were saying with Jewish
okay,
Kafa and Yoruba. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, did you hear the Yoruba part?
We didn't actually, because it
Okay,
was the screen was, you were talking, you were having that conversation with the AI playground, but we are not hearing from our side because I think
okay.
your audio was not shared.
So can you see my screen?
It's coming up.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you
Okay.
now. I think you have shared your screen now, so I'll just go off. So can
Okay,
you
so
do the demo again?
yeah.
Sure, can I help you today?
Okay, so I want you to speak like a Nigerian, and I want to talk about Nigerian food.
Absolutely. Nigeria is such a vibrant and diverse country, rich in culture, history, and tradition. From the bustling streets of Lagos to the serene landscapes of the Niger Delta, there's so much to explore and sell. What aspect of Nigeria are you most interested in learning about or discussing?
So I want you to speak a little bit of Yoruba, like ask me how are you in Yoruba, and then go on to talk about, let's say, tuwon shinkafa, food that is actually eaten in the northern part of Nigeria.
Of course. Ni Dada. How are you?
I'm
In
fine.
Yoruba, I'm glad you're interested. If you have any more questions about
Please
Nigerian food or
continue speaking in Yoruba.
Da, Esheun, if you have any more questions or want to learn about Nigeria, just let me know. I'm here to help.
He didn't speak our language very well. You have to fine tune your. But it's exciting that you're able to ground it to that point. That shows that we can actually customize by using all these services to bring in uh, our culture, our language, and that can also help our startup. Maybe you want your
Yeah,
reach to your customers, your customer base is really in Hausa, and you want to reach them, you
yeah.
can create this application and run it across. So Aisha, let me bring our big Aisha, what do you say about Pascal demo? Did that
Okay, that was
Yoruba go
really
well with you?
interesting.
I know you're from Yoruba side of Nigeria, but do you think
No, I'm
it needs
not.
to work
I'm
more?
not. I'm actually not Yoruba. I'm actually not
Okay.
Yoruba, but then, but that was really an exciting work he did
Yeah.
there. But we need actually to do more in the area of feeding or fine tuning AI solutions to portray our African or Nigerian to content and environment. So this actually is one of the key topics that we'll be talking about here about how we can um, provide AI solutions that actually cater to our needs, our cultural needs, our environmental needs, everything that works with us. It's actually nice listening to AI speaking Yoruba there. Really funny. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Panshak. That was a really
Thank you.
exciting and interesting presentation. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
don't know if
Mm.
anybody has a question or two to ask Panshak, and that will be before
Mm,
we move on to the next speaker, which will be Mr. Oluwaseyi Oluwawumichu. That's he'll be talking about getting started with AI agents. Getting started with AI agents. So um, I'll start by introducing Mr. Oluwaseyi Oluwawumichu. Mr. Sheyi is an MVP Microsoft Microsoft very important personality actually. Is MCT Microsoft certified trainer. So he's a organizer here on this show, and he's had a vast experience when you're talking about technology, AI infrastructure, and so on and so forth. So here we'll be having him talk about getting started with AI. AI agents. That's it. MVP personnel here is the most valuable Microsoft most valuable personnel. So here, Mr. Shei, please, if you're ready for us, can we have your presentation? You'll be doing a demo as well and be diving deep into the deliverables of MVP. Here I have his bio here. He's an independent tech professional. He's a His forte actually covers a wide area in technology. He's an independent consultant. He helps companies in their digital transformation journey, and he has been evolving along with the IT industry in Africa, covering vast network of African countries, Gambia, Senegal, Ghana, Cameroon, and the rest. So currently is connected with Microsoft Technologies and is one of the community leaders in Nigeria user growth. So let's welcome Mr. Oluwaseyi Oluwawumiju. Welcome,
Thank
sir.
you. Yeah, thank you, Aisha, and welcome admin here in the morning. So I'm
Yeah.
calling from Lagos, from Nigeria, from Africa, and welcome to the Global Bootcamp. So I will just go into, because of time, go into my talk, and the talk really is more of setting the pace of what Pasha just did. We have seen how he has created an environment for us to explore. So we'll take it further to see our ways by which we can contextualize this and make sure that this can be relevant to certain of our deliverables, especially in terms of what we do, how we want to deliver our services within the scope of what our service boundary is. So I'll be sharing my screen now, sharing my screen so that we can uh, get where we are. So indulge me to do that, and share my screen. Okay, so share my screen. Okay, oh, my screen come up. Okay,
Okay. So I'll just go to my presentation. Can you see my screen? Can someone confirm? Actually, can you confirm that you can see my screen? Because I'm actually, yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, I'll get it back on. I'm actually managing the as I said, generally we are looking at getting started with AI agent is just like an intro, but it will set the pace for you in case those who want to go further to develop all what Pastor was telling us using Azure Foundry. So I've been rightly introduced, so I go right to the first thing we want to understand is first thing we need to see is what is AI agent. Generally, what is our understanding about AI agents? What is the dynamics behind agents? Now, having a solution, especially having an AI services across or solution across your enterprise, need to have where we can specifically drive our business context, our business expectation to certain things we want it to deliver. So a typical scenario is when you go into the housing or real estate. The contextualize using Nigeria as a typical example. When I want to get my house, for example, I likely need to go and get through an agent. And what the agent does is to stand between the landlord and myself and ensure that the specific service I want, probably the kind of house I want, the kind of the size of the room, the necessary things I need in that apartment is given to me. And there where we talk about negotiation of the pricing and etc. So in all, what it means is that the agents stand as the in-between. Now, we're talking of AI now, we're talking of a large model-based services, which is the context what we popularly know as ChatGPT when it was first launched. It's like finding a way of having someone that is a semi or a proxy to the large language model so that for me to perform specific services, for example, real estate now, I want my agent to be able to tell me about the houses in probably in Lagos or the houses in Mushin in Nigeria. And that means that I am calling out certain specific services and I'm actually asking this AI service to give me. So what the agent does is to be able to create a plan for you. And not only creating the plan, retrieving the context of your services. For example, if you are talking of HR service, you are talking of hair, travel, etc. You retrieve the context and ensure that the services perform. And you can do it in several ways. Now, the typical way we are when Pascal was doing the demo, he talked about a chat playground where you can actually see how he was using a prompt instance to be able to trigger the AI model to give specific result. The same way we can create a chat application, and the chat application with the AI service help you to retrieve certain information directed by prompting it by questioning. Although the initial application that was first developed, which we're going to show, will actually have some limitation. One of the limitation is that when you connect to the knowledge data source, is limited to every information out there. So you might not be able to streamline, and that make you not be able to perform the contextual practice you want from your establishment. And that brings us to the new gen, and which is giving generative AI application that can be with or without RAG.
Now, he mentioned RAG, where you actually recontextualize the information by creating a model that can actually get the context out of what you are saying. So the response for this is also limited when you are using without RAG. For example, I want to go for vacation, as example, as a user, then the model will ask the number of days and certain factor that HR has put in place to be able to bring back. But that model might be limited, especially if it's not properly trained, and there's a possibility that the guy can be sleeping while maybe he has taken enough, just like the HR manager has gone for a night on Friday and Sunday is coming to work and he's already sleepy, and you're asking for it. Just there might be fabrication in the answer, there might be likely of not giving you the right one. So generative AI application also comes with a limitation when it doesn't have RAG. But when you use it with RAG, which is where we are with, it gives a more precise information gap, especially in terms of retrieving contextual information that are relative to certain business and certain solution that you are looking at. Like for the example, I want to ask for my employer is for vacation. It asks the model, try to trick you as an entity, the ID, the number, and when it's trying to give you the answer, it spread its wing across certain AI services, which in the past was called cognitive services. Like Fabric can be a part of the integration that is mapped to a data source that can give you an input or an inference that can give you certain information that you require for your business action. Then you can use SharePoint. You can have a broad-based knowledge base, which the search engine help you to go. Although this also have certain limitation, because Pascal has talked about RAG in his initial illustration, because information retrieval scenario might not be actionable, and sometimes the question you might ask might go beyond the planned scope. So that's also a limitation. Now, the essence of bringing the agents in, just as I made example of the scenario of getting an apartment, and getting an apartment require me to scan through probably, I stay in Sulere in Nigeria, and for example, I want a choice place probably in Eric Mall, or if you are familiar with Sulere, there's Eric Mall, there's some places, Bode Thomas, and there are places like Lawanson. And now I want a granular way of getting a specific house, an apartment, probably with 4 or 5 tenants. I need a proper parking space. Now, having those information across certain knowledge base might not help me. I need a specific driven application that can go to the specific of what I want, how I want it to be done, and that can be done by having what we call an agency. And that's why if I go through an agency, it's easy for me to get my choice space in Sulere, the choice apartment, because it knows my specific. So in generative AI, the application can be tuned and trimmed line to specific that can give us a benefit of knowing what I want, how I get it, and these are actually prompted through certain search to the knowledge base and actionable things by creating an automation action that can predetermine what I want and guide me to what I need to have. So, in a nutshell, what are we saying here? We are making us up of using agency or an agent to specifically guide us to what I want. Now, let's look at the typical example in this scenario here. I want a vacation for 3 days. I wrote my AI. Now, if you use, you can use a single agent and you can use a multiple agent. For example, look at the agent here. 3 different specific is required in my request. 1, what time do I want to go? There must be a confirmation.
Two, have I put that in the system, like an HRO system, that will determine whether my subordinates or people that work with my team can take over from me? So the HRO must have that in the system. And finally, who do I need to talk to? Probably the company has a travel agent that can help you to book your flight, your hotel, etc. So the benefit of multiple agents, just as I mentioned in the specific of the single agent, is to really drill down into multiple information and guiding you to gathering proper direction. So it's performing specific action, but in a complex way. Now, where there is reason for confusion, overloading, HR not knowing what you are, when you are going, when you are coming back, because by the booking agent, for example, it already booked your flight, and the system have it in reference that your flight was booked for certain time and you are landing in the location a certain day. So that also bring about completing your assigned task in a very fashionable way. There are very numerous cases we can look at when it comes to AI agent. One of them I mentioned is travel booking or expense management, which takes employee to be able to book, understand what they need to do. And you can even integrate such solution with your Outlook so that it onboard such into your calendar and ensure that both you, your HR, your subordinate know where you are going. And you can also use another case scenario is for onboarding employers. Now, in the real world, we are in a vast global village now where we know that people work from anywhere. How do we streamline our onboarding process to ensure that it's build our cultural company culture, help us to guide our employee on what to do, where to go, how to provide materials. And this can be streamlined by having a chat agent that once you're onboarded, the first thing it tells you, Sheyi, welcome to Sheyi company. Now, as you know you have been employed at certain, these are the material you can read about what you need, the culture of the company, and that can be streamlined and make an efficient turnaround in terms of onboarding process. There are other use cases like personalizing support for those like IT support or even in analytics, especially when you want to know what is happening. Now, we're getting to the exciting place. How do we build this agent? One, the first thing you need to do when we start looking at it is to provide the agent with right context. What kind of model do you want to use? Because in terms of the catalog of model that Pansa showed earlier, there are several of them that have been built over time, just like a child growing. There's some child that is the bond it's about 2 years old. There's some child about 5 years old. The experience curve of a 2 years old might be different from the one for 5 years old. And it's as you grow. So we know ChatGPT has come to place. We have the version 3.5, the version 4.0, and each of these are models that have been created with certain date timestamp, especially like 3.5. I think the last updates were 2023 or 2021. We're going to see it from the files on the website now. So all this you need to know that the knowledge and the agent must be tied to certain information that you want. So if I want the travel agent, I need to have my right understanding that the travel information I need should be targeted to the current one. For example, for weather now. Now, if I want a very streamlined weather that is context to certain information that is streamlined to what I want in Nigeria, to Lagos, to Ikeja, to Surulere, then I can use another a model that can give me such like 4.0. So those agents must be tied to the tools available and
security is also need to be employed. And we'll talk about responsible AI, the data you are using, the privacy information that is going out. You must all consider that, and constantly you must be evaluating it. So when you see that, now let's look at certain things that we can use to be able to get this when we're considering our agent. One, for knowledge, you can use Fabric. Fabric is Microsoft's own online tool for fabricating data, getting business information from it. You can use Bing as a search. Now, Bing search is not just about the normal contextual search engine, but it's an engine that is in tune with certain certain AI solution that have been embedded into it. Then you can have your own data probably uploaded to your Azure blog, where Azure blog is where you can have structured and unstructured data. Then you can tune it to be able to fetch out those information from that. Then some actionable solution you can use on Azure is the Logic app. If you are familiar with OpenAPI 3.0, it can also be used as an actionable information solution to trigger your agent and to be able to follow it through in terms of automation. Then, while considering security, first of all, the content you are pushing out must be filtered properly. You must ensure that storage is properly secured, and users that are coming in must be validated. Then afterward, you must monitor it and ensure that it's flexible. So Azure Agent. The service is currently on Azure AI Foundry, and it's built on the scaling up services across different case model. And that means that it's very, very fine-tuned with rapid development automation, ensuring that your data can be captured in every aspect. That means that it extends beyond just a normal one collection. It can go across a certain model, several model. It's flexible and it's grounded on security. So using agent services, you tie to your live model, define the instruction you want, connect it to the services and the ability you want it to give you by looking at the trend. And it also help you to act when you have done that. You look at the trend, you look at the messages, you fine tune it, and just like Pascal said, then you run it by activating it. Now, this is an agent this is an example for one here is a Contoso agent. It's built on certain instruction to get specialized information from Contoso himself in terms of sales they have, and it's tied to certain model, which it can be Metal, it can be ChatGPT, GPT 3.5 or 4.0, and it's tied into two different database. It can be on the public facing one, which is Azure AI Search, or the one that is on your local data that you have connected. Then the tools you can use is you can use code interpreter, you can use function like calling those things, or use things that are regulated in Microsoft own domain like SharePoint, like Fabric, and the Azure Logic. Then the user begin to look at the trend. It tells them about what is happening. The agent call out those information that are relative by retrieving those information from their database, by querying it, especially having this different variation of those information and creating it in a more simple way by creating something like a chart, a pie chart, for example, that can tell you what is happening across those information. So I think at this point, we're going to go into the demo and see what we have. I'll just quickly go to my Azure environment, and let's just create one and see how we go about. So the first thing we need to know, just as Pascal said, you must have a subscription. That's why we're saying that if you want to go with this, then you need to contact Steven and he can provision the Azure subscription. On the Azure home, generally, you can actually go through the services by typing it on the search bar. For example, if I'm going to search Azure Foundry, for example, I type, it takes me through several other information on all the services running. Then you can see Azure AI Foundry with the font logo here, or you can go through some documentation that is already online, which you can see. We have one here that tells you about Azure Foundry. What is Azure Foundry? That's for documentation. So let's quickly click on the Azure Foundry. Now, once you get there, as I said, you must have subscription. Then you need to create an AI Foundry. You need to create a service on the AI Foundry, I mean. So once you want to create, now you can either do it at a specific project, but in terms of management, so it's essential you have everything grouped in a place called the hub. So I would prefer we create a hub. So in creating the hub, it takes you to guided services steps. Now, the first thing it asks is to see whether you have money in it, the subscription you have. Then, in your case, the Azure subscription that is provision for you show here. You pick it. Then you need to create a resource. So I have some resource already on my environment resource group. I just choose the one that I have. Then you choose the region here, and that takes us to know where you want to pitch your AI service from. Now, if you go into AI Azure, I think I have somewhere where I have all the Azure environment. I can type it. Let me just type Azure AI model. AI model supports. So once I click Azure, it tells me all the AI supports according to the catalog we have. So if you click here, it tells you the type that you have, the resources, the security that you have. So this is just to tell you that you need to know where you are directing your service to and how you are creating it. And there are several of these model that we have out there. It's over 60. I can see this for Meta, this correct command, and a lot of them. As you travel through all these parts, you see a lot of them and some information there and the likes. So let's go back to the search, and I want to look the model collection in Foundry. The same, it takes you through all of the model that we have there, and it also guides you in terms of how the API works, the services are created, and the versions that you have across various of the model. And you can see each of them with their family, and this gives you a perception of what this model is about. And it's very important for you to know this because it's help you to look at what you need, especially when you are creating your services. So let's go back to the environment. So I'll prefer using East US. Then I need to give it a name. And remember, most of Azure services, when you are creating it on Azure Portal, you need to have a unique name that usually look that's not capital. It's not, you don't use capital on it. So I just use global AI 2025. So it's check it and see whether it's there. Then it's already taking my resource group. Then the next thing I need to do is to look at the storage. Where do I want to provision this because it's required. Then you can see it also defined in terms of security where those keyboards is there, especially if you are plugging into API and you want to push it out there on the web or provide an application. Then if you are using on images, you can also have it created here. So I leave it the way it is. I just allow this to just play out. Then in terms of inbound, where is the access coming from? You can be specific, especially if you have a network segment you want to look out for, or you make it public, all network. I'm not restricting this, it's just a demo. So I take it out, I say let it go on. Then also in terms of isolation, associating it with several network that I have within the Azure spectrum, I'll still allow it to go public. Then in terms of encryption, protection, I leave it on defaults. Identity, what kind of system I want to do, credential based, fine by me. Then tagging in order to search and be able to have it. Then I review it. Once I set up the review button, it's check all what I've put in terms of the data I've inputted. If it's not really working with the normal validation, it flag with a red flag, but this, fortunate for me, is quite good. So I create the Azure AI Hub. Now, it takes few minutes. It doesn't really take much time. Few minutes now, so you can see from the notification is I'm submitting deployment, and it's right here now. So you can see the services are being created one after the other. Deployment is being checked, and it starts building from the vaults that I have down to the resources that's needed in order to create the Azure AI services. You can see the open services that are connected to it. And in few more minutes, we'll be done with this. So let me just check if there's any question. Aisha, you can interrupt me if there's any question in the chat, but if it's none, I keep moving. Okay, it's almost there. We're almost getting where we are. I think there's, okay, I saw some questions. Okay. I think they are just remarks, not really questions. Okay, I think we're good to go. So let me go back to my environment to see how far we have gone. It's still moving. We're almost there. We're almost there. Almost there. Please, Aisha, tell me if my time is up, so I can quickly wrap. Okay, good. We're there. Now it tells me go to, that's the next step. So I'll go to my resource that I've created, and that is Global AI 2005. And you can see it creates the resource, the subscription being used, the ID, and the storage. Now we need to go into the platform that Pastor showed earlier. So we launch it to Azure Foundry. So I'll click on the launch. It takes me to Azure Foundry, where I see the cool stuff that Pascal was saying here. Now, I'll just guide you through the general environment before we create a project. Now, you can see from there, one specific thing that is required, it takes you to the hub where you have collection of certain services. You can see the subscription is collected, the portal is there, the API and endpoint, for example, we want to plug it to certain services. Then it can tell you the quota, and it also, you can delete it from here, and it tells you the name as the services entails. Now, one other thing is the quota, which is very important because it tells you what you have, especially in terms of the service you are running on your subscription, and that's monitoring in essence to be able to build site, because each of these AI services they are core services, and those services are quoted and are cost, I think, in $0.002, because cost is important. As you are deploying it, you must also know, as I want to deploy my agent, I must be able to know how much I'm spending, what's available, and what kind of model can work for me. Then under the users, it tells you the users that have it. Because I'm the only one, I can create several people. That's where collaboration comes. You can have several people working on the same agent and working in collaboration. You can add them here and give them resource permission. Then the model and endpoint. This is where we try to deploy, and you can see you have to create a new deployment first, and it tells you what kind of model you have. You can either develop it through a base model, or you want to fine tune those model. And these are connected resources that are connected to the Azure AI service in terms of OpenAI and AI service. And AI service, if you are very familiar with community service of the old, speech, vision, and the likes, this is where you can easily connect to it. So the services as a hub has already connected to these two major services. So in terms of compute, it tells you how much you have, and you can also create some compute resources when you are specific to what you have. So let's create a project first, which is the first starting. So let's create a new, you can create a new hub, and when you create it, it takes you to the same way. You can see it's already guided through project name. I can call it Azure AI Global Day. Make sure it's lowercase. Global Day. So let's create that project under this hub. So it's taking some time. So it's loading. So once I've created my project, which is called Azure Global Day, my emphasis on the agents, you remember? And I think Pascal have done a good job by telling us on what we have. Another very important area that we need to look at is different catalog we have. We have over 1,875 model as of the, and each of them has their timeline when it was created. Now we have GPT 4.5 on preview now, so we have not even exhausted 4.0. So you can see how, and we know the latest challenge, the latest controversy out there, DeepSeek is also here. So we can see different model and catalog, and this has been explained earlier by Pansa. So I'll just go right to the services and look at the service you want to create. First of all, it asks to ask you which resource you want to use. And once you set that pace, you go into the resource. So this is just an intro. As I said, we might not go deep into creating a particular service agent, but we just share how we can set it up. So you can see there are several models that we have here. And as I said, we need to know which each of these models have a timeline. Time was created. So if you are creating an agent, you must be sure that the model could have cater for your services. Because if you are limited by time, now for example, if I go to, if I've created something on 3.5 and I'm asking about information about who is the president or prime minister of probably of UK, for example, of England, UK, United Kingdom, you notice that it will only give me information related to the time that was created or when the model was functionable. It might not give me the latest one, and that is why you have to be specific on the model you want to use. So you can go to the catalog of each of these model, and you can see a lot of them here. A lot of them, as I said earlier, I want to even see from the perspective of the documentation, for example, coming.
want is a table. There is a table that shows you all the model, and okay, let me just search for it properly. Azure AI support catalog. I want to have. Okay, let's see whether it gives me this here. No, this is just on. You can get more information, Max. I just want to explore different model. It tells me the time, the date it was created. The Azure catalog or model catalog by dates. You can see the pits, the life cycle, collection. Okay, let me just go on. There is a particular site that gives all those info. This is like in a table form. It tells you where, although this can guide you, the availability, the timeline that each of them is created, the life cycle. And so let's go back to where we are because of our time. I know. So let me just sit at 4, chat completion 4.0, confirm that. And you can either use a standard or global or the streamline to certain data zone in terms of deployment type. You might provision it to manage yourself. So let's just go with this, the default and deploy, because I think my time is up. So I'll deploy this and I'll let Aisha come up. So it's the agent is here. You can see the agent, the name of the agent, the service deployment model. And this way I can give the instruction, clear instruction I want to give the agent in terms of grounding up the knowledge I want to connect to it. If I have some knowledge environment, like if I connect to the search engine, I must create the Azure services that I have, and then the type of services I want to look at in terms of giving it an index face. And you can also upload your file if you have a file that is localized to your industry, to your company. For example, I'm an agent in Sulere, all the database I have over the time in terms of the houses. Then all this can be added. Then I can add some actions that I want. It can be custom, it can be through API, just as I want it. Then in terms of how I want this to respond in terms of the token can be also be adjusted here. Once you have done that, you can now try the playground and try doing some things on it. For example, let me just give you an instruction. I am a weatherman. The man for Lagos State. So if I have things I want to add, for example, knowledge base that I want, I don't know, Bing was not had, and that's just, I don't know why it's not compatible with this agent. And I have to figure out. I just put it on Bing, which is a public oriented one. I just leave it and try testing it. It will be vague now. I think my time is up. Just an Zoom.
Now, there's nothing like Lagos West. I'm just trying to prompt it for things that doesn't exist and see whether it should give us something generative. Okay, unfortunately, I do not have a real data tell you that you have to have data plugged to it, and you have to have an action. And you can see these are example of what I can plug to it that can give me certain information about the weather. I can also create a trend that tell it only be specific to only rainfall or probably sunshine like I want. Then I make it actionable, increase the temperature, and give me. This will provide current weather conditions as well as focus for tailored to Lagos and region. So you can do as many other things like for HRO, you just need to put your data, input your data, and have it done. So I will unshare my screen and get back to my because I think my time is up. Okay, thank you, Aisha. That's it. So I'll stop sharing now. Go back to this. Yeah, Aisha.
Oh wow, that's been a very expansive walkthrough. This is more than actually is more than an introduction, like you said. This is a total a total journey, right? It's a lot, and I will agree that if you're on this call, you should count yourself lucky because you'll be going away with quite a lot of information, a lot of knowledge as regards how to use the Azure AI Foundry. So thank you very much, Mr. Oluwaseyi. And because of our time, we'll be going straight into the panel discussion, and we'll be having Stephen Adipe in the house, who will be talking about how we are implementing artificial intelligence in Africa, how the implementation of artificial intelligence will benefit the African business and cultural landscape. So, Mr. Stephen Adipe here is a data and AI lead with Covenant Technologies. He's an infrastructure engineer with over 12 years experience in IT. He specializes in data, AI, and cloud technologies. So here he drives AI powered solutions and data strategies in Covenant Technology in order to boost decision making and innovation. So it was previously at Smart Home Technology Dubai. Before he worked on IoT systems, network deployment, and software support in order to ensure a smart, efficient tech solution. He's a computer science graduate from the Inamdi Azikiwe University in Oka. So here we are welcoming Mr. Steven, who is passionate about using AI and cloud technology to solve real world problems. So here, welcome, Mr. Steven. It's good to have you here. Let's delve into the questions directly right now. I would like to ask you. Okay. Before I bring in the question, let me introduce another of our panelists here, Madam Franca Ibuzo. She's the CEO, Microsoft Certified, as well she's a CEO of Cheska Global Solutions and is a Microsoft certified trainer with expertise in business intelligence, data analytics, and cybersecurity. She's a professional Scrum Master and she's a passionate agile enthusiast, helping businesses to drive digital transformation. She has strong background in IT consulting and digital marketing. She empowers organizations with data-driven insights, security strategies, and innovative tech solutions. Here we are. Welcome, Madam Franca. It's nice to have you here. And I would also like to introduce, I don't know if Mr. Kachin is around. He is a cloud solution
It's
architect
not.
from Cameroon. Okay, he's not around. Okay, let's move ahead. So we are going
So
to introduce
Victor,
as well Victor Oduneye, if he's here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's here. Please,
he
he's a
is.
versatile
He's here. He's
multimedia
here.
professional. His experience in web development and cybersecurity, and he contributes to responsive websites and enhances cybersecurity postures of organizations. So thank you very much, dear panelists, for making out time to be here on this show. Okay, this is me. I'm not going to be doing much of an introduction of myself because of our time. My name is Aisha Oshileye. I'm a Microsoft
Odun.
365 administrator and technical support. So let's go straight into the panel discussion. So my first question is going to be going to Madam Franca. Okay, the first question is: what are the key challenges that are facing that we face in AI implementation in Africa? So, when we talk about AI implementation, what are the key challenges that we as Africans face in implementing AI solutions, and how do you think we can overcome these challenges? This goes to Madam Franca, please. Because of our time, please let's make it snappy. Thank you very much. Okay, we can't hear you. I don't know if you're.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. All right. Okay, thank you. Okay, implementing AI solutions in Africa presents several key challenges, along with potential strategies to overcome them. Well, the key challenges are infrastructure deficiencies. We have limited internet access. Many regions face inadequate internet connectivity, affecting data collection and AI deployment. There's also power supply issues because we have frequent outages that can disrupt operations. And the solutions is improving infrastructure actually. We need to invest in connectivity. Governments and private sectors should collaborate to enhance internet and power infrastructure. And we also need to have public and private partnerships to engage in partnerships to develop necessary tech infrastructure. Another challenge we have is data availability and quality. We have scarcity of local data. AI systems often require large data sets, which may not be available or well annotated. Then we also have data privacy concerns. There are apprehensions regarding data ownership and privacy. And the solutions are enhancing data availability, data collaboratives. We need to establish data sharing initiatives to pool resources across organizations and sectors. We also need to have community engagement. This involve local communities in data collection efforts, ensuring cultural sensitivity and relevance. And we also have the skill gap, which is another challenge. That is lack of trained professionals. There's a shortage. There's a shortage of skilled data scientists and AI professionals and practitioners. They have limited educational resources. Educational institutions may not provide adequate training in AI technologies. And the solutions preferring is building skills and education, upskilling programs. We need to launch training and mentorship programs in universities through tech hubs. We need to also have online learning platforms to promote access to online courses in AI and data science. And another challenge is regulatory and policy challenges. have lack of clear regulations. Unclear policies can hinder innovation and investments in AI. Ethical concerns, issues around bias, accountability, and transparency need to be addressed. And the solution I'm preferring is establishing clear policies, as we need to develop regulatory frameworks, create clear, adaptable regulations that encourage innovation while addressing ethical concerns and public engagement. We need to involve stakeholders in policy making to ensure regulations are relevant and effective. And also have the financial constraints that we have limited access to funding. Many startups and initiatives struggle to secure financing for AI projects. Economic instability, economic challenges can deter investments in tech infrastructure. And the solutions I'm preferring is facilitating access to funding by, with startup incubators and accelerators. Need to support tech startups with mentorship, resources, and funding opportunities. And we have international partnerships to foster collaborations with global organizations to attract investment and expertise. By addressing these challenges collaboratively, stakeholders in Africa can harness the potential of AI to drive sustainable development and innovation across the continent. Implementing AI solutions in Africa presents immense opportunity, but also several challenges. There are some key ones, along with potential ways to overcome them. Okay, that's it for me.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much, Madam Franca. It's nice to hear from you. It's nice to
Yeah.
hear that you have actually highlighted some of these challenges that are bedeviling us as Africans, and then what solutions we can use in order to curtail these challenges to bring about a seamless AI implementation in Africa. So I'll be moving on to my next question, which is supposed to go to Stephen. So, in line with all the aforementioned challenges, so how can we ensure that AI-powered models understand and support local languages? We have seen what Panshak was able to do with fine-tuning and feeding and prompting the AI in order to respond in local language. And so, what are those measures do you think you can take in order to ensure that AI models support local languages and the cultural diversities that shape the African continent in order for us to be able to build trust in AI among African businesses and communities?
All right, thank you, Aisha. It's a wonderful, uh, it's a pleasure to be here and also to be able to talk about what is trending in terms of technological innovations and how this technology can impact the African community where I'm from. Yes, building trust among African business and community actually involves intentional effort and to reflect linguistic, cultural richness, and trust relationship. We must adopt inclusiveness, you know, with language support while building our language support. Also, community engagement and leveraging technology responsibly promote representation of AI development. Like from the demo, we can see that the chat GPT, the model that we actually built, Panshak, when Panshak came on, tried to speak, mimic the African culture, but it sounds non-African. These are challenges that AI engineers should look at implementing or try to resolve. We should involve in developing models that can actually mimic the African culture or reflect the African culture and African way of life. In that case, we need to have an inclusive language support. By inclusive language support, we should engage professionals, linguistic, and other bodies that will help reflect the African culture in our development. And the kind of data that we use to train these models should be Africans, and also we should build models that are multilingual. By multilingual, we should not focus on out of the box experience or deploying technologies from the West hand without even fine tuning it. And to be able to do that, we know that the challenges with Africa is actually infrastructure, compute. We do not have this big compute system or the high-end compute system that can actually process massive data. So, the development of AI over the year in Africa has actually been more like individuals or private companies trying one or two things with AI. If the government also involves in encouraging infrastructure development and enhancing it, I believe that it's going to go a long way to reflect African culture and also build trust and relationship among the business. So there's so much, but because of time, I think I will end it here and we'll take it from there in our next topic. Elijah?
Sorry, can't hear me.
Aisha, it looks like you're mute.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry
You're
about that.
muted.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
thank you very much, Stephen, for shedding a little light on how we can use how we can actually make AI to support African local content and local languages and culture in order to build trust in AI solutions that are fitting for the African society. My next question goes to Victor. So I want to ask, how can we promote the widespread implementation of AI in optimizing business processes in the world of work? So that question goes to Victor.
Okay, good day, everyone. How we can promote the widespread of implementation of AI in optimizing business processes in the world of work. Firstly, I would say creating awareness, like what we are doing right now, educating people on what AI is and the benefits of AI by organizing talk shows, seminars, workshops for people to know what AI is really all about and the advantage it can actually bring to the world of work. Also, I'll say we can make AI easy to use, like we've seen from the Microsoft Copilot agent, how it is easy to implement, easy to use, and easy to integrate with businesses, thereby helping business improve efficiently and effectively. Also, I'll say our government, if our government can invest in AI, that will really take us a long way in the next level of in our technological sector. Lastly, I'll also say that we should train our people on AI, especially the youth. If we can equip them with skills and knowledge on how to work with AI, it would actually increase the number of talents we have in Africa as a whole and Nigeria as a nation.
Thank you very much, Victor, for that eye opening speech that you just spoke. That spoke about how we can improve AI adoption and implementation in order to improve business processes. Thank you. My next question is about AI literacy. This is actually connected to what Victor just talked about now, about educating people about AI. So AI is not no longer something for a particular set of people anymore. It's more like a life skill now. So it's already a crucial skill that everyone needs to learn. So how do you think we can educate, or we can bring about a situation whereby educational institutions integrate AI studies into the curriculum of educational institutions, so that we can bring about an AI literacy scheme where our people are or students are able to learn about AI. So this question goes to Franca. So what strategies do you think we can employ to ensure that educational institutions integrate AI studies into the curriculum in order to improve AI literacy in Africa?
Okay, thank you, Aisha. Yes, to improve AI literacy in Africa through educational institutions, several strategies can be employed to effectively integrate AI studies into curriculum. First one is curriculum development. We need collaborative frameworks to involve industry experts, the academia, and policymakers in designing AI curricula that reflect current trends and future needs. We need to have a modular courses. It creates flexible modular courses that can be integrated into existing programs, allowing students to specialize in AI, data science, and machine learning. And we need capacity building for educators, train the trainer programs to provide professional development for educators, to familiarize them with AI concepts and teaching methodologies. We need continuous learning to encourage educators to participate in ongoing education workshops to stay updated on AI advancements. We need to have partnerships and collaborations, industry partnerships, collaborate with tech companies to provide resources, internships, and real world projects for students. Also need academic networks to form networks among universities to share best practices, resources, and course materials related to AI. We need to have practical hands-on learning, project-based learning, and incorporate hands-on projects and case studies in the curriculum to give students practical experience with AI application. We also need to have hackathons and competitions. We need to organize events that encourage students to develop AI solutions for real world problems, fostering innovation and teamwork. We also need to have access to resources and infrastructure, open education resources to develop and share free online resources such as textbooks and massive open online courses focused on AI. We need to also have tech labs and infrastructure, invest in creating technology labs equipped with the necessary tools and software for students to learn and experiment with AI technologies. We need to also promote interdisciplinary learning as integration with other fields, encourage AI education across various disciplines, e.g., for example, healthcare, agriculture, finance, to demonstrate its relevance and application. We also need to have cross-curricular projects to implement projects that require collaboration between different departments, fostering a holistic understanding of AI impacts, and community engagement and awareness, outreach programs to launch initiatives to raise awareness among AI in schools, and communities, promoting interest in STEM fields among young students. We also need mentorship programs to connect students with professionals in AI to provide guidance and inspire them to pursue careers in the field. We also need policy advocacy, government support. Advocate for policies that support the integration of AI education into national curricula and provide funding for educational initiatives and standardize guidelines to work with educational authorities to establish standards for AI education to ensure consistency and quality across institutions. By employing these strategies, educational institutions in Africa can effectively integrate AI studies into their curriculum, thereby improving AI literacy and preparing students for future opportunities in this rapidly evolving field. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Madam Franca, for that extensive take. Thank you. Okay, this is the last question for Victor, right? So, where we are delving into the health sector this time around, we know we have seen that in more developed countries, in where things are probably working better than here or what we have here, we see how AI is transforming healthcare by enabling faster diagnosis, predictive analytics, and robotic assisted surgeries, most especially in China, because I have seen cases like that play out. So, what do you think are the ethical considerations of using AI driven co pilots in diagnosing and recommending treatments in African healthcare systems? This question is for you, Victor, very, very briefly, please, because of time.
Okay, thank you very much. We know as AI is only as good as the data is being trained on. So that is, if an AI is trained on a bad data, it will give you a bad result. That is a bad diagnosis. So we have to do continuous monitoring on the data we feed our AI so as much to get the best result and the best diagnosis for that. Also, we should look at the data privacy and compliance issues. We know that in the health sector, using AI with sensitive data can cause an issue if there is a breach in the data. And we can have issues with compliant regulatories like HIPAA. So we should look at that also. Lastly, AI is not just here to replace our doctors and our nurses. AI is here to support our doctors and nurses so as to maintain trust and also ensure oversight, human oversight on medical decisions.
Oh, thank you very much. Are you done, Victor?
Yeah, I'm done. That was all for me.
Yes. Thank you very much. This next question is for Steven, and this particular area is something that actually I'm actually raises concerns within me actually with the coming of AI. We know that AI has come to stay. AI is not in the future. It's not the future anymore. It is in the present. It's something we have to deal with. We have to learn how to use it. So, and we have seen how AI is being utilized among a vast area of persons, of professionals, and all that. We have students using AI in order to do research, to do assignments, to do their projects, and even we have tech professionals who rely on AI. So in software development, in building applications, and all that. So how this is how we use AI, especially Copilot, which is a Microsoft product, in order to boost productivity and creativity. Should we all be concerned about the misuse, the overuse, or even the over reliance on this technology? How and where do you think we can draw the line between artificial intelligence and human ingenuity? And will AI not lead to a decline in human intelligence? So this is actually a major area of concern that I want Stephen to talk about.
All right, thank you, Aisha. A very wonderful question or point. AI, everywhere you turn to right now, they're telling you AI. every profession is trying to adopt it, and of course the way and the rapid in which the society is embracing AI is very alarming. And of course, over reliance and misuse could lead to several to disaster in humanity. So, in order to maintain order, we need to apply, you know, what Microsoft call responsible AI. In developing AI, you should always work within that framework of building a responsible AI, that involves all these areas that are of concern at the moment. Misuse, of course, is there. There are so many deep and fake images or videos or realities that are available right now. The tools are enormous. If you turn to the internet, you see TikTok, say for example, you see a whole influencer trying to um, sell one app or the other. This is what is available. So in order not to misuse AI tools, we need to actually educate our users. And also, as a developer, we should build AI within the framework of responsible AI. Then, overuse of AI can actually lead to dependency on machines as opposed to human. So, AI is actually here to assist us, enhance our performance, and also speed the rate at which humans perform or deliver on tasks. So if we totally rely on AI to do all the dirty works or minor work or all of that, and not focus on the primary goals, then it's going to lead to overuse of AI, and over reliance on AI could lead to a decline in critical thinking and problem solving skills among humans. As a parent, this should be a big concern for me, to see that my children right now are exposed to technology that will take their mind off studying, off developing their critical thinking. Now, digital fatigue, we know what that can do, the kind of health implication that could pose to anyone that is always on the screen. So we need to constantly interact with the need to constantly interact with AI can lead to reduce face-to-face collaborations, and also poses a whole lot of health challenges. Of course, it's going to give the doctors more job to do, but then we'll be having sick people that are working with one eyes defect or the other health challenges. So yes, building AI within the framework of responsible AI is the key note that we as a user or a developer should take note of. And in doing this, I'm sure AI is only going to be there to assist us perform optimally and not to disrupt human existence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Steven. We are nearing the end of the program, but I still have this particular question that I want us to talk about. So I don't know. I might actually want everyone to have an input here, which is this particular question about agents, AI agents. So it's actually evolving right now. It has brought a whole lot of industry changes. So AI agents are enabling models in order to generate code and do a lot of stuff that we might find we find boring. So okay, we want AI to do all the boring stuff while we face the most important aspect. So thereby the coming of agents. So agents are semi autonomous and they don't allow us I mean, they allow us to just have a little input. It's not like they want to. They are not working on their own. We just give the humans give a little input, and then the agents can think for themselves and do a few tasks according to the task, according to the prompts given to them. So, what strategies do you think we can adopt to mitigate concerns about AI displacing human jobs? So that's actually been a major cause of concern since the coming of AI, but now agents are taking it a step further. So we need to know what strategies can we adopt to mitigate the concerns, the worries about, okay, oh, AI is taking our jobs, AI is now writing codes, developers are going to lose their jobs, AI is now doing travel expense, okay, AI is now booking agents. What are these people going to eat after AI takes their jobs and all that? So I want us, please, tell us what strategies can we adopt to mitigate these worries about AI taking jobs. Stephen,
Who
please
is
go first.
starting? All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Esha. AI, like I always say, AI will take your job if you are not trained for it, if you are not ready for it, if you are not adaptive, if you are stagnant. So it involves, at this present stage and age, we must adapt, we must evolve, we must learn new skills. And by learning skills, we must learn AI skills. You know, these are the only way you can stay relevant. And in my earlier point, I told you that AI is actually there as an assistance to help us optimize, achieve so much. But if with the invention of agentic AI, which is more like a personal assistance, or like personal assistance, yes, this is what AI is actually built for. But agentic AI is trying to have a semi-autonomous, well, autonomous. That is the primary goal. But at the stage that we are right now, is still on semi-autonomous. So it has not really been able to do things on its own. It's not independent. It does not have that free will yet. But with the way AI development and technology is moving, yes, in the near future, of course, we can get to that point. But then, agentic AI will only replace those people that are not prepared for it. AI will only help you to achieve your role or optimize your work role and jobs optimally by making reducing time you spend on itemizing things. But when it comes to public speaking or presenting those research work or brainstorming, it still requires human effort. But for that human to be able to present what AI has produced, then you should apply prompt engineering, allow the your prompt and get the right inference, or should I say output. Then with this output, you can use to determine your actionable points and all of this. So if we stay in development stage or constant evolutions with technology, will not be displaced by AI. So learn, acquire these skills, and improve on your work ethics. Yes, we are in a stage where the world is evolving very fast, and it actually require people that are very fast thinker. And for you to do that, you require the help of machines. So machines are only there to enhance our performance and not to actually take our job. But it will replace so many people that are not AI compliant.
Thank you very much. I don't know if
Thank you,
Madam
Aisha.
Franca has a thing or two to add to this before
Yeah.
we move on. What about you, Victor? Like, but okay, one thing I noticed is that, with every technological innovation, with new technology
Solution.
coming into place, it has a way of phasing out the old technology. You understand? So I don't know if that could be the same with agentic AI this time around. We are talking about AI disruptions, whereby one technology comes on board and then the old technology is abandoned or is no more has a place in our society because we have a more advanced modern system on ground. So do you see a future where we have AI disruption, where something even more robust, more precise even comes on board? So how do we escape or reduce that kind of impact, the kind of impact that could have on us as tech professionals? Stephen?
Yes. All right. That question is for me.
Yes, yes,
Come again,
please.
please. Come again, please.
Okay, I'm talking about AI disruptions. What are the implications for local African tech professionals, and how do we escape or reduce the impact of AI disruptions?
Yes, like I said, over reliance, misuse. These are the things that actually allows AI or new technology to disrupt human existence. So we actually don't need to be over reliant in quotes. Yes, we need the help of AI to achieve so much, to perform optimally in our duties, or should I say in our profession, because AI has cut across several fields, several professions. So any profession you can think about that requires human thinking or intellectual reasoning, AI is taking over that area or that domain. So basically, we need to adopt, we need to evolve to developing tools that will help us in that regard as African. Else will be left behind. But then, do we now depend wholly on machines to perform our job? If we do that, then it's going to lead to misuse or over reliance or self-dependence on artificial intelligence. And with this, it's going to interrupt human existence or professional it's going to interrupt into the profession. So basically, we try as much as possible to build AI within the framework of responsible AI, then avoid misuse or over dependence on artificial intelligence to perform our roles or duty. Then, as employers or CEO or business owners, we should also employ people instead of employing technology, so to say. Yes, the rate at which we will employ people this time around might be dropped, but let it not be cut more than 50%. If it's more than 50%, or even with 50%, is going to disrupt human existence and all of that. So we are still going to be appealing to business owners, industry owners, and players to actually keep the human and the machine. So there should be a balance.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Aisha.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, in summary, and we have already heard from industry experts. We have gone through live demos about how to move around the Azure AI Foundry, Azure AI Studio, in order to create lasting solutions, grounding solutions for African challenges, for business challenges, and to make our work easier. Talking about creativity and productivity. Thank you, everyone, for coming to this month, the Global AI Bootcamp for 2025 by the MCT Tech User Group. We are happy to have you here, and it's been a roller coaster of information coming from every corner, from all of our experts. We appreciate everyone for coming in. So this is the attendee badge that you can have on your profile, on your social media profile. So you can use this link. I think it's been posted on the comments area. So you can use this link to acquire your badge and then use the code to redeem it. Thank you, everyone. we want to thank our speakers, Mr. Shei, for giving us an introduction into the AI, Azure AI, sorry, agents, introduction to agents, getting started. And then we also thank Panshak Koproda for also giving us an insight, the demo into how to use AI, how to train AI models to bring up local content, talking about speaking the Nigerian language. So this is the season of AI um, code that you can scan to give us a feedback. This is the attendee survey. So scan this code, use the link here in order to register as an attendee and give us your feedback concerning this show. Thank you very much. Our time is fast spent. So on this note, we say thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our speakers and our panelists for making us out time in order to join us and make this session a wonderful and successful one. So once again, my name is Aisha Oshileye. Till we come your way again, please have a wonderful time. So we'll be dropping the. Let me try to drop the feedback link. This is it. Let's drop it on the chat so that every one of the attendees can have access to it. So I don't know if you can copy it from here, but this is it, aka.ms/ attendee survey season of AI. So someone will drop it on the chat for us so that we can have a feedback as to how this event has gone. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We are really, really glad that you could make it to the event. For everyone who joined us online, for everyone who joined in person, it's been nice having you here. Thank you very much. I sign out.
You have a learning goal, and we have just one job to help you achieve it and deliver at your convenience. Learning right starts with us at Ashem Academy. We are a learning institute in partnership with professional industry bodies like Microsoft, PECB, Pearson VUE, and PSI, delivering quality training, ensuring your certification path in respective industries. Ashem Academy has training specialists with extensive consulting experience as well as the expertise to address your specific needs and preferences. Our goal is to deliver training that maximizes return on people and infrastructure investments. We define success as having the right resources to skill you up to help you meet your desired goals. Our job at Ashem Academy is to empower you to be successful at every stage of the learning journey, from training to certification to establishing professional credibility. As a certified learning partner and authorized testing center, our facility has proven to be one of the best in the country as we get to reach the needs of all ages, young, middle-aged, and those in the advancing years, making learning simple and affordable. We care about your skill development, and without breaking the bank, we present you with great opportunities to showcase your competency and expertise in your area of specialty, aiding career advancement or personal goals tracking. Let's help you bridge that learning gap. All you have to do is take the next step to enroll in our courses today with prices that are easy on your wallets. Request access to our training calendar by emailing training@ashem.com, and you can also get the most of your learning investments by checking out our promotional offers here. offers.ashem.com/ms learning. You can call 0704 636 7151 or call 0704 576 9927. You can visit our head office at number 9 Ibikule Street off Abad Macaulay Way, Yaba, Lagos State.
ọmọọba ni kò ṣẹrú. ó wá sáyé ọmọọba ni kò ṣẹrú. ó wá sáyé kò ṣẹ̀wọ̀n.
ó yá akéde mo fẹ́ délé bàbá tó bí lọ́mọ.
ọmọọba ni kò
bàbá
ṣẹrú.
mi ò gbànígbà ní ojú ọ̀nà ó ṣe gbá. kò sán gírí lágírí ọ̀la gírí kàkà. àtọ́kọ̀ àrẹ́rẹ́ o. bàbá mi ò wọ kẹbẹ̀rẹ̀ jùjọ. jagunmọ́ lòdì ọ̀rọ̀.
Hello, I'm David Okeode, principal instructor at Cavis Cloud, 4 times Microsoft MVP, and author of multiple books on cloud security. I would like to speak with you about our courses at Cavis Cloud. First, we are cloud security focused. We maintain an unbiased stance towards vendors, and we cut through all the typical marketing jargon in many trainings out there. We help you to understand things as they really are. The second thing that's unique about our courses is that we are multi-cloud focused. Our multi-cloud security courses covers the top 3 public cloud platforms out there: AWS, Azure, and GCP. Our instructors are not just trainers, they are seasoned professionals with real-world experience. The third reason is that our training modules are designed to provide practical hands-on experience. Our courses are packed full of hands-on labs that you find engaging and interesting. And finally, our prices are the best out there. I encourage you to check out our upcoming courses on our website and also testimonials from our students. See you soon at www.caviscloud.com.
Digitization simplifies the way we collect data. Organizations collect data from multiple touchpoints to enable them to make effective, profitable, data-driven decisions. Yet, a lot of data just sits there. Why? Well, organizations operate 2 systems: operational or transaction systems and analytic systems. Operational systems are data repository, where you execute business processes. Analytic systems are where you make sense of your data and evaluate business processes. Analysts spend 80% of their time cleaning and preparing data to update routine reports, and only 20% of their time truly brainstorming on the numbers and extracting insight from that data. The result? Less time to ask the right questions about their data, and less time to pull variable insights that can improve your bottom line. At D. Brown Consulting, we have a better approach. We empower you to extract insights from your data at the speed of thought. We employ a curated methodology that simplifies the analytic build process to eliminate technical friction, making it easier for everyone in your organization to get the exact data they need securely. The best part? All of this can be done without relying on overburdened IT teams. D. Brown Consulting offers consultancy services in building, reporting, and analytics systems. As Microsoft Gold partners, we offer business process automation solutions with no-code and low-code applications, chatbots, and robotic process automation engines, and financial modeling services. We visualize our reports, dashboards, and analytics using the principles defined by the International Business Communication Standards, IBCS. The use of standardized notation eliminates ambiguity and ensures consistency in the design of your visualizations for more effective data storytelling. Are you looking to achieve more with your data? Contact us today. Visit dbrownconsulting.net.
Welcome to the Pride of Symbols, a people driven by the passion for excellence and the courage to take on big challenges and see them through. With integrity of mind and systems, our words, structures, and processes are always dependable. We are proud of who we are, what we do, and what we stand for. Firm is our commitment to the vision to build a globally recognized distribution company and to become the key driver of trade revolution across Africa. We have been empowered to make products and services accessible, affordable, and usable across Africa by building an efficient distribution network, and to remain the market benchmark for dynamism, efficiency, and competitiveness. We are rulers. We provide order. With confidence, enthusiasm, and wit we speak. The vulnerable and voiceless we empower. This is me. This is TD Africa. We rule. We conquer. We are Simba.
For over 7 years, Macintosh Consulting has been empowering individuals, organizations, and government parastatals in information technology, business management, leadership development, and finance. Through our end-to-end training services, we help our clients achieve notable landmarks with our long-standing valued affiliate relationships with Microsoft, EC Council, CompTIA, PECB, Cisco, and AWS. Macintosh Consulting offers training and certifications in diverse areas like Network Plus, cybersecurity, cloud computing, project management, Agile Scrum, soft skills, amongst many others, with guaranteed to run classes, virtual classes, on-site classes, online classes, and customized classes. Macintosh Consulting enhances career development, promotes relevance, and ensures quality delivery. Macintosh Consulting is located in Nigeria, Kenya, and the United Kingdom. Visit www.macintosh.com or call 090-381-38550 or 081-409-84158. You can also visit us at 24 Bama Chili Street off Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos.